Why are dogs afraid of thunderstorms? Summer is just around the corner, and so are the summer rains. We humans enjoy the rain so much because apparently it fades away the humidity factor and the heat from the sun. 35 degrees feels like 45 when there's no wind whatsoever. Rains bring water immersed in winds that take away the scorching heat and bring water for the animals to drink. But what about dogs? Do they find these thunderstorms amusing or good in any way? I'm afraid the answer to that is no. They don't. In fact, most of them are thunderphobic. Hey everybody, welcome to Paw Venue. Most of you might agree that whenever there's a little bit of lightning going on outside, your dog won't like it and will be hiding in the strangest of places in the house. But why is that? Why are dogs afraid of thunderstorms? I'm afraid that answer to this question is not that straightforward. We have to dig deep for this. Let's get straight into it. Why? For me, it's pretty painful for me to see when everyone else is excited about the fact that it's about to rain, but your dog will be sitting in the corner of the room with their heads down. They won't respond to your calls and look afraid for some reason. If your dog is thunderphobic, you might notice him or her hiding in confined house areas, trembling or shivering, barking, howling or whining, restlessly walking around, drooling all over the place, or constantly engaging in destructive behavior. But why does that happen? To answer this question, let's first discuss what happens when thunderclouds are approaching. When it's about to rain, the barometric pressure drops. The air blows in every direction, making it difficult to quantify its speed. Then, dark clouds form and start colliding, causing the thunder to appear. The fear of thunderstorms appears due to a drop in barometric pressure, dark clouds, and the crash of thunder that follows. According to Terry Curtis, a clinical behaviorist at the University of Florida College of Veterinary Medicine, other signs of a nervous dog are ears back, tails down, eyes wide, panting, lip licking, and yawning. Even though it's easy to spot these signs in your dog that it is being fearful of the upcoming storm, the reason for it is much more complicated. As far as I've studied, 3 main culprits basically answer this question. These possibilities include canine noise aversion, separation anxiety, static electricity. Though doctors aren't sure what causes a full-blown storm phobia, they believe it is triggered by a combination of barometric pressure fluctuations, static electricity, wind, thunder, lightning, and low-frequency rumbles that occur before a storm. However, if your dog is not responding to any noise aversion or separation anxiety, it's most likely the static electricity that is driving them crazy. Static electricity. Science says that whenever there is thunder going on, the wind gets charged and causes a little static to develop in your furry friend's coat. If you have a big dog, the static buildup will be even faster, and that freaks out your dog. If your dog's coat has built up static, touching it against metal may give it a somewhat painful jolt to their sensitive nose. According to Nicholas Dodman, a veterinary behaviorist at Tufts University and the Center for Canine Behavioral Studies, chief scientific officer, this could evolve to a full-blown phobia. In fact, those terrible small shocks may explain why, when a storm is approaching, your dog flees to the basement or another enclosed location in your home, as these places are grounded. Because these places are grounded, your dog is less likely to get zapped by static electricity. Separation anxiety. Although separation anxiety is a straightforward issue, let me tell you that it can make the situation of thunderstorm phobia worse in dogs. Separation anxiety is a discomfort caused in any canines because of being away from the owner or the parents of the puppies. So what it means is if your dog seems anxious as you're about to leave, seems destructive while you're gone, and is absolutely thrilled when you come back, your dog has separation anxiety. This situation is caused when your dog is hyper attached to you and gets seriously annoyed when you're gone. Your presence at unpleasant times, such as thunderstorms, might be especially significant because you are a comfort to your pet, as they are to you. Even if your pet doesn't regularly show indications of separation anxiety, the uncomfortable and unusual changes brought on by a rainstorm may be enough to set it off. So when you're not around and it's about to rain, your dog can get seriously stressed, and stress causes fear. It's just like ordinary kids that are attached to their parents. When the parents are not around, the child gets fearful, and a little noise can cause him to lose it. And if there's thunder going on, the child can get scared to death. So happens to the dogs. Canine noise aversion. Many dogs are afraid of various noises, including fireworks, gunshots, and thunderstorms. A noise phobia may be the primary cause of your dog's fear of storms, or it may be one of the numerous contributing reasons. It's likely that your Border Collie or Australian Shepherd, like a few other breeds, has a hereditary susceptibility to develop noise phobias. However, it has been discovered that at least 40% of all dogs suffer from noise phobia. Unfortunately, repeated exposure can exacerbate the dread of storms and other loud noises. This is why the degree of your dog's storm fear and anxiety will often develop during the summer and year after year. Your dog may even begin to associate the dread with other similar noises, such as the sound of rain. Noise phobia in dogs is a subject about which little is known. What if they could only tell us what was going on? However, we understand that this fear can affect dogs of all ages. However, dogs beyond the age of a year are more likely to be affected. A certified applied animal behaviorist, Kristen Collins, says, "Some dogs are simply more sensitive and vulnerable to developing a fear of noises, and this vulnerability can show a genetic inclination to the problem." What can you do? You've got to fight with all its roots to face the problem. First of all, you need to find out where your pet feels the safest. You have to give your pet a free hand in deciding the place where it feels the safest when the storm is about to happen. Once you've established that area, do what you can to make it as comfortable as possible for your dog. This can include adding white noise to drown out the thunder or acoustic tiling for soundproofing. If that's no use, buy your dog an anti-static jacket. Clinical efforts have made an intelligent jacket for dogs such as Anxiety Wrap. The Anxiety Wrap uses acupressure and gentle, constant, maintained pressure to relieve stress and anxiety. Dr. Dodman, Nicole Cottom, and James C. Ha investigated the usefulness of this product on dogs with thunderstorm anxiety. The data imply that the Anxiety Wrap is a safe and effective treatment for canine thunderstorm phobia, the researchers concluded. If your dog has some behavior-related problems or is showing signs of thunderstorm phobia, the best thing to do would be to go straight to your veterinarian. They would examine the dog, and if they find it necessary, they will give some anti-anxiety medications or canine noise aversion drugs. Sometimes you have to consult with your veterinarian to avoid this from happening in the future. If your dog is worrying, anti-anxiety medicine will go a long way to improve that dog's quality of life, says Kelly Ballantyne, a clinical assistant professor at the University of Illinois College of Veterinary Medicine. Sometimes behavioral techniques might also help dealing with your dog's anxiety problems. Counter-conditioning is the kind of technique that involves training your dog to perform good, positive behaviors instead of being afraid of anything. This could include bringing treats for the dog or sitting around until it starts feeling okay, even if you're not around. These kinds of behavioral techniques allow your dog to stay happy and energetic even if there are thunderstorms on the loose. While the counter-conditioning of your dog takes away the fears, there is another option that you can go for. That is called desensitization. This sort of training involves exposing your dog to the problem in such a controlled way that your dog doesn't react to it the way it used to. This means that if you control the exposure of any problem your dog is facing, your dog will eventually learn and adapt to it up to the point where it is no longer afraid. Final thoughts. So, what is it about thunderstorms that make dogs fearful? Storms, to be fair, are large, intense, and intricate weather events. It should come as no surprise that the answer to that question is complex. However, by considering the causes of canine noise aversion to static electricity, you can take the steps necessary to safeguard your furry friend and reduce his or her worry about the approaching storm. So that's what I have researched about this problem, and have used the techniques I've described above. Take my word if you want, as I have found these methods beneficial and would definitely recommend them. So that's all for today. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss more interesting Top Pets videos and much more. Check out the playlist of latest uploads and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.